Yo, welcome to Urban Gameplay Gaming Countdown. It's Matt Pepper, counting down the hottest games.
Yo, what's good game world? As it's that time of the week, we're definitely going to drop another countdown video on the channel, and in this gaming countdown video we're going to take a look at my top 10 favorite cel-shaded games of all time. My aim was to go for the more clear-cut cel-shaded games which have more of a flat 2D look to them. I wanted to include games like Sunset Overdrive in here, but I didn't really classify it as a fully fledged cel-shaded title, as great as that title was. I also selected one game per franchise and refrained from adding any fighting games in the mix because there was just too many out there to choose from, and some of those games was just a great area for me. In terms of cel-shaded games, it's definitely a style that I've always personally enjoyed. Some people don't like the colourful and flat graphics as they feel it looks too cartoony, but personally I always find them visually pleasing when done correctly. The games that I've selected will hopefully jog some epic memories to some of the classic moments in gaming history, and some of these games I've thoroughly enjoyed playing back in the day. Anyway peeps, that's enough of the chit chat. Time for me to go through this list as quickly as possible, so it's time to check out my top 10 favorite cel-shaded games of all time.
Number 10.
First and foremost, I personally found this game fun and enjoyable, but it probably isn't everyone's cup of tea. The game is extremely difficult, but still a great game. In terms of cel shading, I was really impressed how they implemented it in this game. Catherine is definitely a phenomenal title, and there's no way I could kind of create a list like this and leave this game off, because I really think the emphasis on the graphics was really superb.
Number 9.
Yo, this was actually the first encounter I ever had with a Naruto game, and when I saw the graphics and art style, I was instantly sold. The game itself was great, but I really appreciate the use of the cel shading in the game here. The level design and also the character design was really something to admire at the time when the game came out. Definitely a classic game on the Xbox 360. If you guys played this game back in the days, you definitely know what I'm talking about.
Number 8.
When it comes to a superb storyline, Okami is definitely a game that I hold in high regards. This is such a phenomenal game and the graphics are really cool. Yet again, the flat yet color vibrant art was just such a pleasure to look at. It's clear to see that the game designers for this game took a lot of inspiration from Zelda games, and it worked magnificently. Yet again, this is definitely that title that I really appreciated playing back on the Nintendo Wii. It also was on the PlayStation 2 and the PS3 as well. So definitely a game, if you get the opportunity to play, I would say it's worth giving it a chance.
Number 7.
Now for me, when I first saw the trailer for this game, I couldn't wait for it to drop. Not because of the graphics, but because it was the first Wii game that looked a little bit more of a mature title that stepped away from the lovable Nintendo stereotype that many gamers had for the console. The game is so cool, and trust, in terms of cel-shaded graphics, it's definitely another beautiful game to look at. For those who overlook this title, I still say it's a hidden gem on the console, believe me.
Number 6.
Now I'm not gonna lie, it was between The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, and I really went for The Wolf Among Us because personally this is one of my favorite Telltale's games. Now when I first saw the graphics for The Wolf Among Us, I simply grabbed this title regardless of whether I'd get into it or not. But when I played the game, I was amazed how amazing the game is. The story is definitely superb. People who want to play a great game, this is truly one of my favorite Telltale's games, as I mentioned earlier, and the cel-shaded graphics in it is another superb addition to it. I think it really brings a vibrant energy to the title and definitely complements it.
Number 5.
Now there was no way I could leave this title off my list, as this is definitely one of the greatest cel-shaded games that I've played of all time, and it's also the first cel-shaded shooter that I can remember. I love this game so much. I feel that this was surely an underrated title back in the days, and I know many gamers actually overlooked this title. The style of 13 in terms of the graphics was just simply superb and easily a great use of cel-shading. I love even the comic effect to the game as well, which definitely added so much elements in terms of having fun whilst playing. I really think that this game was definitely a phenomenal title back in the days, and would be a game that I'd love to even review on the channel at some point, or even just give you guys some gameplay, because I feel games like this definitely need more emphasis on how great they really were back in the day.
Number 4.
Now I'm not gonna lie, like most games on the list, this particular title is one of those games that you'd either love it or you will hate it. But for me, I thoroughly enjoyed playing this game back on the Nintendo Wii. I also do appreciate the uniqueness in some of the titles, and I felt that this game definitely dropped on the Wii. It was like a breath of fresh air. There wasn't really much games like this, but believe me, the art style really did the cel shading genre of games really proud, and I even loved the cutscenes and the animation, and even just the gameplay itself I thought was really cool. The first No More Heroes that came out on the Nintendo Wii was another phenomenal game, but this one I just feel really refined the experience. Even though it didn't really have the open world elements, it was still a fun game.
Number 3.
Personally, I'm a major fan of Youthful Joe series, and when part 2 dropped, I was blown away. Part 1 was epic, but part 2 was just sensational. The graphics are still colourful and striking in their comic book styling, and for those who've been rocking with urban gameplay since day one, you definitely know that I'm really a major fan of comic style. So definitely this game really appealed to me, and it was a game that I could not leave off the list. For those who played Youthful Joe 2, you know what I'm talking about, an epic title.
Number 2.
When Wind Waker dropped back in 2003, that was our introduction to Toon Link, which was a cel-shaded version of the Hero of Time in a whole new cel-shaded adventure. Some people didn't like it, but I personally thought it was so great to see this direction of Zelda game. Even in Skyward Sword, I loved the way they used the cel-shading, but as Wind Waker was the first to do it in the franchise, I really had to put this game on the list. There was no way I could leave this game off the list. I nearly went as far to place this title at number 1 because it was really an epic title, but I would say the number 1 position just pipped this game by an inch. Definitely a phenomenal game, and definitely was a worthy pick in terms of cel-shaded graphics.
Number 1.
When I first saw Jet Set Radio drop on the Sega Dreamcast, I was thinking, wow, those graphics look so unique and so cool. When it comes to games that bring originality and something fresh to the table, those are the type of games that I personally love and appreciate. This is certainly one of my favorite games on the Sega Dreamcast, but the reason I placed this game at number 1 was because it was probably the first time I saw cel-shaded graphics done correctly. This is surely the title that makes me look forward to games that have the similar style because I really love the game so much. Anyway peeps, thanks for checking out my top 10 cel-shaded games of all time. I tried my best to run through the list as quickly as possible, so I kind of skipped out some of the details per game, but don't get it twisted, some of these games are definitely going to be reviewed on the channel and so I don't really want to give away too much in one video. Do let me know in the comments below what cel-shaded games did you enjoy playing back in the days, and what was your favorite? Do you like cel-shaded games? And please don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the content, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next urban gameplay video, we definitely say peace out peeps.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more cool urban gameplay videos.